Okay, we got something to talk about today, and you may have noticed from the introduction about keeping things simple, and this involves a concept I have never heard of called Occam's razor. And to help us understand this concept, Mr. Trey Jurgens, fellow fiduciary, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. And we were outlining the show. We always like to talk about keeping things simple. Where in the world did you hear about this?
This was actually in church. The pastor came up. He was talking about keeping things simple, not overcomplicating things. Keeping things simple, Occam's razor does just that.
And there was different dates of birth on this fella. He was back in the 1200s or 1300s, but it sounds like I love the premise. And basically he was saying if you had two choices, one simple, one complicated, you should probably just err on the side of simple. Is that really what he's saying there?
Exactly. So in philosophy, a razor is just that. It's a concept that can shave off other possibilities. So with Occam's razor, it's a concept that just says if a simpler solution can be had, that's probably the right solution.
Oh, I think this guy would enjoy hanging out.
I think so.
He might have been a fiduciary here at Tony Walker Financial if he lived long enough. So I think what we decided to do, especially in our practice, we work with savers, folks, and savers love simplicity. And I've often said, I think the financial world sometimes makes this intentionally complicated. Would you kind of agree with that, and how frustrated many savers come to us and say, I don't understand what they're doing?
No, absolutely. I think when the financial world speaks over the head and confuses people, gets it to a point where it's overly complex, they feel like they rely on the financial world. So if the saver can't simplify it, they have to trust somebody.
Yeah, they're kind of almost bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. They don't have any options. So, and really retirement planning, folks, it's just that, options. We try to boil down to a few simple options, put the saver in control so then they can choose what they think is in their best interest.
Exactly right.
So we got a little bit of time here, Trey. I kind of want to go through the paperwork here. You did a great job on outlining this. We're going to go through, looks like 3, 4, about 6. We could have probably listed 10, but 6 things that we can do to follow Occam's razor, assuming Occam was helping us with retirement planning and to keep things simple. Derek's got the graphics here. The first one, boy, this is becoming more and more prevalent. And I think people, when we bring this up, think we're being greedy, get everything under one roof, consolidate your assets, but speak to why this is so important in retirement versus having everything scattered all over God's creation.
Yeah. Well, as Mr. Moore used to often say, a soggy mess. We've had a few cases, and it's great that we can help them, but when they bring in stacks of statements and contracts, things that they've had accumulated over 25 years, they don't even know what they have or where it is. And much less if someone were to pass away and leave that to the kids, if they haven't helped consolidate accounts and have kind of a clear idea of what they have, where it is, and communicate that to their beneficiaries, they really are in a mess.
Yeah, we met with some clients the other day, new prospective clients. They're not our clients, and they wanted us to handle everything. The father of these children and his wife is still alive, passed away unexpectedly. And yeah, they said, we don't know where anything is. And it's taken us several weeks. We're still not there. We're getting there. But it has really been difficult. All right, number 2, I like this one. This is in our bailiwick. We call it mailbox money.
Mailbox money.
But building a foundation around guaranteed income, I know we've done shows on this. Put up an article recently, Aaron, that, the financial world's finally realizing you got to have guaranteed income. Annuities are the only thing that can do that. But speak to that in terms of our game plan and how confident our clients are knowing that they're not going to run out of money.
Well, when someone comes to us and they're looking for a lifetime of income, and we can guarantee that with an annuity product, but also provide them flexibility on the front end with Charles Schwab, it's really kind of the sweet spot. So they really enjoy that guaranteed income. We had a recent article that said savers sometimes spend up to 2 times as much when they know they have guaranteed income. So basically, having guaranteed income is really a must for savers.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Here's the next one, limiting exposure to market risk. As we record this show in August of 2024, the stock market's going great guns. But folks, you got to remember, retirement's a whole different ball of wax, unless you want to plan on going back to work if we have another crash. So speak to how we try to temper back that risk when people are actually in retirement.
Yeah, we had a new client come on. Her 401k had done 25% here the last 12 months, which is great. However, having that much equity exposure heading into retirement is pretty scary.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Here's a good one. Choosing low-cost investment options. Basically, our Charles Schwab platform, but also, and I might do a whiteboard on this at some point in the near future, also, when you couple the annuities, many of our annuities do not charge fees. So speak to that, Trey. The typical person that might come in with a managed account from a broker, maybe they're charging 1.2, 1.5, $500,000. But what we can do to the fees to lower those and put more money back in their pockets.
Sure, with 0.8% annualized fee in Schwab, that's already pretty low. But we do carve out some assets to go into annuities without fees. So overall, you could be more like 0.5% on the whole thing versus charging 1.5% with a money manager.
In fact, we did this, put this up full screen here, and you can see where, in this example, our overall fees for this client, they vary, but for this client was 0.5% versus their current advisor was charging 1.5%. Now, again, in this example, we're just showing the effects of fees. Over 20 years, they'd have about $200,000 more in their account by just simply lowering their fees.
Oh, it's powerful.
Let's keep moving here. Oh, I like this. Simplifying estate planning. First of all, folks, we're not attorneys. We don't pretend to be, but I've been doing this a long time. All I can say is this. I mean, there's a lot of people out there peddling trust, pushing trusts. I think in some cases they have merits, but all I can say is a trust doesn't mean you're necessarily going to simplify your estate.
Yeah, we always update beneficiaries, and we're pretty proactive about getting power of attorney on file and just keeping those beneficiaries updated, because anything that you have with named beneficiaries with us avoids probate already.
And also, too, I would say if you're going to get a trust, that's fine, but make sure you've really thought through why are you getting the trust. A lot of people say, should I have a trust? And I'll say, well, why are you getting it? Some people might say, well, I want to save on taxes. Well, in some cases, the trust they're looking at won't save on taxes. Or I want to have privacy in my estate. I don't want to go through probate. Well, other than a house, maybe they're not even going to go through probate. So again, folks, we're not attorneys, but we can really help you think through first before you go to the attorney, what is it you're trying to accomplish? I think we got time for one more here, Trey. I like this one. Focusing on core values and goals. How much would you say, how important is it for a saver to trust the person they're working with? And what do clients sometimes share with us the reason they go with us in the first place?
Well, you listen. I think that's number one. When I first started and watching you in those first appointments, the little check boxes, the notes that you take, and then you present the findings of that second appointment, people light up because they see, oh, he was actually listening. And it's refreshing for savers, but it's also how we can do what we do. We can lay a plan out that actually achieves those goals and those values that they share with us in that first appointment.
And I like how you said it on a show a couple of weeks ago, really listening, taking care of the client, doing what they ask you to do is the ultimate sign of respect for that client.
It is.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.